Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? It is your boy Brandon from Audio Addiction. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling. A little late tonight, but hey, you know what? We're going to be cruising. We're cruising tonight. Very excited. We are doing Wannaone and King Daniel tonight. I'm going to see him with my partner next month. So very excited to go to that. I'll probably announce it closer to when the tour starts. But yeah, very excited. I know this also has been a group that has been one we've been wanting to do for quite a bit. So cool to see us get into it. And I don't know if Wannaone has any other members that did solo stuff along with King Daniel, but we'll have to cover them at another time. So, but yeah, very excited. If you're new here, please join the Discord. Would love to see you in chat. Do these live on Twitch Monday, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So come through if you live on the East Coast, if you live on West Coast, international, would be cool. I know some of y'all are international, so try to do what I can. But very excited. Thanks for joining. Sarah says, "Hey y'all," and okay, there are several. Very nice. We'll have to cover some of the other ones after the fact. Kala, hello. Biscuit, hello. Jazz, hello. Thanks for hanging. But yeah, we're gonna cruise. We're cruising tonight, so I gotta get started with it. Shout outs to Kaylee for putting the playlist together and obviously giving some input. If you are new here, that's where I usually get the input from. So appreciate everyone for letting me know what we need to cover. But let's see. We got Gogi says, "What's up? You running late? Worked out great for me. Hey, there you go." Sarah says, "Actually, you see someone very familiar from last stream." Oh wow, okay. And Sally, hello. So yeah, so for tonight, for Wannaone, we've got the produce opener. I think Jazz had recommended that. So it's called Pick Me. So I'm excited to get into that one. We have Energetic, Burn It Up. It looks like this one is beautiful. We have IPU, Boomerang, Light, and then Spring Breeze. And then we'll get into the Kang Daniel stuff, which it looks like they included. What Are You Up To? Touchin'. To You, Refresh, featuring I guess maybe it's a collab with Zico. I don't know if it's featuring, but seems like maybe a collab track. We've got Waves featuring Simon Dominic and Jamie. Very nice. Who Are You? Paranoia, Antidote, which it looks like I've listened to already. Ready to Ride, Upside Down, Parade, SOS, Electric Shock, Mess, and it looks like Episode is the most current one. So we're gonna be doing the damn thing tonight. So excited. Kaylee, hello. You are here. Thank you. Connie, hello. Thanks for hanging. But yeah, let's get into the first one. This one, I would assume they are from Produce 101. One of another show. If my memory serves me correct. So, very excited. Very excited. Connie says, "I'm so excited. I love King Daniel. He's my fourth favorite soloist in K-pop." Hey, very nice, very nice. Produce 101 season 2. Okay, awesome. And yes, thank you, Kaylee. Everyone say thank you to Kaylee if you're watching this on YouTube. I know Twitch always does it too, but come through. Anyway, let's get into Pick Me to start. Let's check it out.
안녕하세요, 국민 프로듀서님. 국민
Ah,
프로듀서
Boa.
대표
Nice.
보아입니다.
Okay.
여기 여러분들이 직접 프로듀싱해야 할 101명의 연습생 소년들이 있습니다. 모두 국가대표 아이돌을 만들 준비
She just had
되셨나요?
didn't she have a
It's showtime.
new song out recently? I feel like she did. Unless I'm thinking of someone else. She did? Okay. Sorry. It felt right, you know. Okay. It's close enough to 8:30. That was like 5 minutes. Yeah, you yapped for like 44 minutes of that. I always feel like they do this. Oh, holy shit. Wow. Crazy. Wow, that dude's got long ass hair. Holy shit. All right. All right. All right. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. This was the first introduction to some of the members of Wannaone. I imagine they do not have this many. I want to guess. I would assume there's 101 contestants based off of the naming convention, but I can't confirm or deny if that's true because I did not obviously watch the show. So, says all these pygmy boys. Oh God. Kaylee says, every time they show someone I know, it's like Whiplash all over again. Oof, sorry. Kunky says, I feel like after this song, Brandon needs to spin the wheel because I want him to pick me. Your time will come, young grasshopper. Kaylee says, 101 had 11 members. Yeah. No, I was saying Produce 101 had 101 contestants. I should have made myself a little bit more clear. Um, very nice, very nice. Um, very interesting. I always find these signal type songs. Okay, Jazz was okay. Very nice. Um, okay, cool. I was just making sure. I feel like all of signal songs like this are always very interesting. Obviously, my only like metric to this is the Boys Planet signal song, and obviously the Island 2. Excuse me, I couldn't. I was having a PTSD moment there. Um, but I feel like those are kind of my only real directionary points of view on that. Now I feel like this kind of, I noticed that there's kind of like a pattern in terms of in terms of what they're doing. Now I will say I feel like they do the verse chorus, and then they have like an EDM kind of build, and then they do like either a big like dance break moment, or they just have kind of like a big show offy sort of moment, and then go back to the final chorus. Which is fine. I still think, again, Boys Planet. I will say, at least from my perspective, I feel like that Signal song is still very memorable. I know I have heard it a bunch, but it's still really, really good Signal song. I think that's probably my top one in terms of Signal songs. I mean, I'm sure there's more that I will most likely have to listen to. So I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but definitely enjoy that one a lot. This one's very good. Like I said, the vocals are really clear. I think all of the members sounded really, really on point. And I think it's tough when you have like that many different voices to kind of put together. I think it can kind of seem like it can kind of seem a little bit intense, but I think they always do a really great job of, I think, at least in my opinion, really kind of giving their own moments to each individual member, though, obviously I feel like they kind of blend together. But it was cool. Very, very solid Signal song. And like I said, doesn't really give me, I guess, much of a perspective on Wannaone as a group, but, I will get familiar with in the next 7 songs. So I'm sure it's bound to happen. So Kelly says, no, no, I know, just info. Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Sarah says, it's a good Signal song, probably like a 7 out of 10. Still unfortunate, 6 out of 7 Produce Planet series, of the Produce Planet series Signal song. Okay, fair enough. And, wow, okay, Kang, you just got the notification I went live. No, Santa says, I had you listen to the girls' version of the worst songs. That's true. That's true. But listen, there's probably some songs that are cooking. And Sarah says, I'll be making a Signal song playlist soon. Threatening. Oh God. I'm scared. So anyway, very nice. Thanks to everybody y'all for joining. Biscuit. I think I said hi to Biscuit earlier, but I'll say it again. But very nice. We're gonna move on to the first one, which is Energize, I believe. Oh, Energetic, excuse me. Which is the first 101 song. So let's do. Oh, are you gonna get captions? Ooh, captions. All right, let's go.
I don't know why 나도 모르게 빠져들어가 숨 막히게 baby I don't know why 지금 이 순간 멈출 수 없는 기분 no 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 Make me feel so high 미치겠어 날 멈출 수
Okay.
없어 You make me feel so high I'm so crazy 너가 나를 본 순간 막 끌려가 날 당겨줘 baby I'm feeling so energetic
I think we did this one with ZB1. I'm pretty positive.
I'm feeling so energetic
Now I get to finally hear it.
너를 지켜줄게 사라지지 않게 한순간의 작은 약속들은 너냐 이제 말해 내게 baby You tell me how to feel 1, 2, 3 and 4 네 옆에 딴 놈들이 거슬려 점프해만 오직 너만을 지키는 killer 말 그대로 나 좀 죽여줘 yeah. 너를 품에 안고 비상해 걱정은 버려 지하에 뭐를 하든 간에 하나라는 수식어가 맴돌 거야 너와 나의 귓가에 Make me feel so high 미치겠어 날 멈출 순 없어 You make me feel so high I'm so crazy 너가 나를 본 순간 막 끌려가 날 당겨줘 Baby I'm feeling so energetic 오늘 밤 둘이 out of control Yeah I'm feeling so energetic I'm feeling good I wanna touch 멈출 수 없는 이 기분은 마치 freedom I'm feeling
This is such a good, catchy song, damn.
Alright, work your body 다가와서 즐길 시간이 Let's dance 아껴도 너의 신발이 더러워지더라도 움직여 빨리 hurry up 질문은 나중에 해 다른 남자들은 넌 보지 말게 누가 버려서 그랄게 이제 시작해 No I'm be 말 끌려도 날 당겨줘
Pop offs in the bag are tight. Wow. All right. This is an introduction. I'll tell you what. All right, I'm gonna back it up a little bit so I can get all of them in frame. So I got a good okay. That is not a great, great place stopping place, but let's see if I can get a better one. All right, that's about as good as I'm gonna get. Okay, very nice, very nice. This was Wannaone's Energetic. If you're hanging out tonight, we're doing Wannaone, Kang Daniel tonight. Thanks for hanging, thanks for chilling. This is a fire song. I feel like this one's gonna be really, in my opinion, I feel like this one's gonna be a tough one to beat in their discography. Immediately catchy. The vocal hooks in this song are very infectious. And to me again, this one looks like it came out about 8 years ago, and I don't know how accurate that is. I would imagine it to be, but I still feel like this one holds up. This is like one of those songs that I'm just like, damn, they're like the hooks are still good, like the melody's still good. Like I feel like sometimes when we cover groups, I'm like, okay, this feels very much of the time, but I will say this one just, despite it being, 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, I still feel like this one has such a good, flawless sound to it. So I really, really love that. I will say kind of a hodgepodge. Like I love the rapping in this group, but I would also say the vocals on this and this group as well is equally as impressive. Y'all know I love rappers in K-pop groups, which again, not to be understated in Wannaone certainly. But man, the vocals really are holding their own too, and I think they were definitely kind of fighting in my mind in terms of what I enjoyed more, which is I think a great compliment to the song. Also the different vocal tones between like the different members, I feel like they have a very distinct, each like member that did most of the singing, I feel like had distinct tones. I feel like the rappers had distinct tones as well, which was nice. And I really feel like they absolutely put an exclamation mark at the end of the song, with that, like whoever is doing those like insane ad libs and vocal runs at the end of this track were just wonderful. I think they just added that like little extra bit of spice to the track that I was just like, this is already good, but it just was so much better with that ending chorus. So great stuff. I think the only thing that I probably could say is as much as I love ZB1 now, and diving into them last week, I feel like you can't help but I feel like you can't help but like, you know, love the original. Though I feel like ZB1 did a really good job at covering the song, because considering how difficult this is, I imagine vocally is quite the mountain to climb. So I feel like they definitely did it with grace. So you know, I think that also speaks to the talent within ZB1 as well too. So cool to actually listen to the original. And yeah, energetic, I feel like, is the best adjective for the song, because it truly is a very energetic song. So great stuff. We love to see it. Let's see a couple comments here. So there's a couple people that are coming back from 101, so we'll have to check those out. Kaylee says, definitely highly anticipated debut. Also, the song popped off. I could definitely see that. Calla says, such a memorable song. And Sarah says, every time I hear this, I think about Hui, because it is so obvious he wrote and vocal directed it from the vocal technique. Yeah, I was going to say, that's incredible. And now kind of, again, putting it all together, it makes sense. So great. I think he's just a phenomenal like vocal director. So great stuff. And Sarah says, this is probably the most iconic survival show group debut of all time. Wow. Okay. And Jazz says, Jaehwan always slays with the vocals. Yeah, I feel like he might be the standout one for me right now. So very nice. And Sarah says, I'm up to, Guggy says, I'm up to 60 videos for, oh my God. We're going to be doing this for a while then. That'd be like 4 streams. So, damn, impressive. All right. Well, we're going to keep it moving with Wannaone. This one is Burn It Up next. So, let's check it out. I was just guessing. I don't really care. We can do 4 streams. I mean, to be fair, you're one to talk, Sarah, so.
새로운 세대가 열려 있는 그대로 받아들여 뭐가 다른지 보여줄게 날 따라 follow up 소리 높여 하나가 돼 We'll make you 활활활 우린 좀 young and wild 태어날 치열하게 자라왔지 조금 독한 타입 그저 앞만 보고 어둠을 뚫고 왔지 D-I-double-F-E-R-E-N-T 터뜨려 난 like a boom boom pow 비보다 지난 형제들과 더 높은 꿈을 향해 가 Let's fly 이제 시작이야 It's time to light 내 안에 잠들던 눈빛을 깨워 이제 너와 나의 길 시간이 됐어 저 모두 일어나 Burn it up
Ooh.
We burning bright
That's cool. Like a vocal effect there. That's awesome.
We burning bright 나고 있는 숨지 말고 눈을 떠 모두가 기다렸던 날 깨워 나 turn it up 참지 말고 일어서 간절히 바래왔던 날 깨워 달려갈 준비를 해 Yeah 불길이 활활 타오를 때 어두웠던 시간을 태워 난 빛이 now 이제 내 미래는 밝질락 다이아몬드 내 몸은 포기를 몰라 난 오늘도 나 뛰어넘어 똑바로 봐 우리가 걷는 길 이제 역사로 남네 남들과는 남다르지 난 따라오면 따돌리고 뛰어오면 날아가지 난 차원이 다른 세계로 드립이다 이제 시작이야 It's time to light 잠든 내 가슴에 불꽃을 태워 꿈이 현실이 되는 밤 시간이 됐어 자 모두 일어나 Burn it up We burning white
The pitched vocals is so interesting. I know I just mentioned it, but very interesting choice.
숨이 내려도 높은 벽이 날 막아도 이제 난 내일이 두렵지 않아 더 이상 혼자가 아닐 테니 침묵을 깨고 더 높이 떠오를 때가 바로 지금이야 right now 하나도 남기지 말고 돌아보지 말고 더 위로 We know how to live our life 오늘은 다 같이 하늘 위로 올라 We don't know how to live your life
Okay.
오늘은 다 같이 하늘 위로 올라 Burn it up
Giving like a festival ending. Okay.
모두 다 하얗게 불태워
Wow, holy shit. What the? Oh, this is an extended version. That's why.
새로운 세대가 열려 있는 그대로 받아들여 뭐가 다른지 보여줄게 날 따라 follow up 소리 높여 하나가 돼 We'll make it
I think it's playing
right.
again.
우린 좀 young and wild
All right. Well, if we're not, I don't think there's anything else extra on this other than just seeing them. I guess. I don't know. Chat wants to correct me. Okay. Very nice. All right. This was a Wannaone's Burn It Up. Very nice. Let's see. I did make a comment on Sarah's thing about having a ton of streamed videos. Hey, listen, it's fine. You know, you're keeping me in business, so I'm about it. Let's see. Gungy says, I forgot I know these songs. Sarah says, I will preface, I love this song. This is 100 times more dated than Energetic. Fair enough. This bridge is so iconic. And then Sarah says, oh, is this gonna play again? And they or farm. Kaylee says, oops, I didn't know that. I think you're fine to end it if you want. Okay, perfect. And Sarah says, we're only on part 9 of my series this week. Yeah, only. Very nice. But I think this is very interesting. I will agree with Sarah. I do find that this song, while it is not bad, I do think that there are certain things where I'm like, okay, this seems to check some of the other boxes that I'm familiar with groups of this time period, which is not bad. I do feel like the choices in this song, I think, not only I think production wise, but I also think vocally as well were unique. I liked the pitched vocals. I thought that it was a very cool I thought it was a really cool kind of take on that part of the song. It does kind of break it up from like what you typically would hear from Wannaone, so I love that. I think the song really started to get more interesting for me as a listener once we got into that like more softer bridge. Then you got this really interesting kind of build, and then they had like a halftime section with like some of the drumming, which I thought was very interesting. And then at the end, kind of gave like this more like festival like ending towards the song, which I think was a cool choice. You know, I there are a lot of things that I appreciate about the songwriting. I think ending it off that way relieves some of the stress of having the song maybe sound a little too samey in some parts. So I love that. And I think, you know, as someone who, you know, again, tries to go through and listen to it, you know, the songs all the way through to give it the really, you know, college try, you know, I do feel like that definitely helped out a lot. And, you know, it's definitely a part that stood out to me, you know, listening to this song. Now, again, very similarly to Energetic, I loved the vocals in this. I thought this was really great. Good vocals. I think the rapping is shined a little bit more in this song, just because I think the nature of like the more EDM sounds and like a little bit more pumped up in the way that the song was presented. So I would imagine this one at least from my perspective, again, I'll never be able to see Wannaone. But I feel like this one would definitely be popping off live in a live setting. So it gives live energy, which I'm here for. But yeah, overall, I thought this was really solid. Like I said, I feel like Energetic is like one of those songs that I think is going to really remain high on the list for me personally. But I don't feel like this is a bad song by any means. I think that would have been a hard song to follow by any stretch. So I feel like they did a great job of, I still feel like keeping true to their sound, but also diversifying a little bit more. So really cool stuff. This was a good one as well. Let's see. No, Santa says, how many more weeks do we have? And there are 14 parts right now. I don't think there will be any more. Okay. Until you get version 2. But and Sarah says, oh, Bessie, I am enemies with whoever is running Boys Planet 2. Don't worry. Oh boy. Kaylee says, well, the members are, I think, soloists now. Daehui and Woojin, who are in AB6. Okay, fair enough. Together. Very nice. Okay, I was curious. Obviously, we'll talk about it, but like where the different members kind of wind up ending up. So very nice. Sarah says, Wannaone raid debuts as Wanna 2. Oh God, that would be cursed. I'm sure it would happen. It would happen. So we've heard some really interesting group names. So I would not be surprised. I'm not gonna say it couldn't happen. So, all right. Well, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is Beautiful. So let's check it out. I never put anything past the K-pop group name agenda. Oh, this is a performance video. Let's go. All right.
바보같이 아쉬운 많은 노래가 하늘에 닿기를 눈물 속에 밤새운 내 기도가 마음에 닿기를 어려서 내가 이럴 줄은 몰랐어 당연한 거라 그땐 생각했었어 내게 남겨준 미소가 아직도 이 가슴 속에 남아있어 솔직히 난 아직은 받는 사랑이 필요한가 봐 홀로 남은 시간이 길어질수록 두렵고 그래 그때가 그립고 너무 보고 싶고 그래 yeah. I miss you so much 이제서야 느껴 우리 공간 I miss you so much 이렇게 눈물이 나는데 왜 난 몰랐을까 So beautiful
Love the piano. That's great. I should have said this has some flash warning.
기억은 바다처럼 넓은 창고라고 그 안에서 하루 종일 헤매도 혼자 느끼는 외로움마저 유일한 너의 흔적이라고 억지로 눈 감은 채 견디고 있어 오늘도 I miss you so much 이제서야 느껴 우리 공간
That was some insane dancing right there. Holy shit.
이렇게 눈물이 나는데 왜 난 몰랐을까 So beautiful, beautiful 그 누구보다 아름다운 너니까 아프지 마, 울지 마 너야 나 노래가 들린다면 다시 돌아와 Oh 그리워, 그리워 거울 속에 혼자 서 있는 모습이 낯설어 두려워 네가 필요해 이제야 느끼는 내가 너무 싫어 yeah. 이렇게 너처럼 예쁜 꽃이라고 네 앞에 다시 서고 싶어 yeah. 그 시절보다 더 멋진 모습을 하고 네 앞에 나타나고 싶어 yeah. 익숙했던 시간들을 손끝으로 그려 돌지 않는 시계처럼 제자리에서 울어 반짝이던 너 천사 같은 너 아름다운 널 맘껏 안아보고 싶어 꼭 다시 보고 싶어 So beautiful, beautiful 어디선가 울고 있진 않을까 떠나지마 가지마 사랑한다 거짓말 어떤 말이든 좋으니까 그리워 너의 마지막 그 말 내 손으로 두려워 네가 필요해 이제야 느끼는 내가 너무 싫어 바보같이 아쉬운 많은 노래가 하늘에 닿기를 당신 향해 밤새운 내 기도가 마음에 닿기를
All right, very cool. This was Wannaone's Beautiful. If you're hanging out for Wannaone and King Daniel, thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling. This was, listen, I'll use the song title name. This was beautiful. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I think the melody, like what I've noticed a lot about Wannaone so far is like their melody choice is elite. I really do like a lot of their like runs. I feel like the way that they kind of bring about a good hook, I feel like is really incredible. And I'm only 3 songs in for their discography. Well, I guess 4 technically, but yeah, I feel like they have such a way of conveying a good hook, but also I feel like conveying their emotions. Like a lot of the performance, especially in this song specifically, I feel like is a very emotional, very emotive sort of performance, and you can definitely hear that in the song. I will say like it feels most memorable in the choruses. I feel like that's where you get a lot of those like bigger, like more grandiose sort of moments in the track. So I love that. But yeah, this is also another one where I was like, damn, like it, I was just sitting in my seat here and I was like, damn, this is really good. Like there's just something about it that like just kind of tugs at your heartstrings a little bit. And the performance was beautiful. I will give a shout outs to, I don't know which member it was. Let me see if I can find this spot where I was like, damn, this was really cool. It was like the door section where like one of the members was walking out of the door and did like a really Dave Wee. Okay, very nice. I think Sarah might have got me on that one. Incredible dancer. He's awesome. So very performative. Like not in like, I feel like that could be taken the wrong way, but like he's got a very kind of elegance to him that I feel like in his dancing that I'm just like, damn, that's memorable in and of itself. Like he wasn't really, I know he was singing, but as well as I think it's like twofold where I'm like, damn, I remember him because he's, very elegant in the way that he dances, but also at the same point, like his voice matches the elegancy that he brings to the table. So I really love that. Other than that, I think there's definitely some other people that I noticed really strongly vocally that I like am trying to cut through the MVs so I can see who I really enjoyed. Because I don't want to take up too much time, but I know there's definitely some people. I did like him. I don't know who this is on screen now. He was incredible. There's somebody else. Damn, I gotta skim through here and see who I really enjoyed. Woojin. Okay, cool. I'm picking these names. We got Woojin, Dave Hui, and then whoever this is. I think those 3 are the ones who stood out to me the most in this song. Minhyun. Okay, very nice. Very cool. Yeah, I like his tone. They're all really incredible. To be fair, I don't want to say, I got like a comment. They're like, "Oh my god, you didn't name XYZ member." And listen, I'm just learning along here. I would love to know why you love these different members, but he was incredible. So, and there's definitely some others that I have a spot in my head, and if I do notice who it is, I'll point it out. But yeah, this is a fun song. This is a really good song. I'll be going back and listening to this one again for sure. So, but okay, so I've got Dave Hui, Woojin, and Minhyun are my three in the waiting here. So very nice. Love to see it. Some comments here. Let's see what we got. Kaylee says, "God, this song." Oh God, I saw Sarah's comment about I wanted to two zone X2 Keptuler 0 base 2. I feel like I feel like it would be even funnier if it was one base 2. I feel like that'd be even dumber. But Connie says this is my fave. Sarah says love this song. Kelly says should be easier to point out people who you like. Thank you. Jazz says I have forgotten how much I like this song, and Biscuit said me too. But yeah, very nice, very nice. Sarah says we still have to do newest too. We do have to do newest, I believe. Yeah, I don't know if we've done newest yet. So very nice, very nice. All right. Well, we're keeping the train moving tonight. We're on a mission. So I've got IPU next. Let's check it out. Also, gotta write my names who I like.
벚꽃이 떨어지던 날 그댈 처음 만났죠. 낯설은 떨림과 두려운 설렘들이 뒤섞이던 날 이제서야 말해요. 난 많이 겁이 났었죠. 어쩌면 그때가 마지막이라고 생각했었기에 서툰 날 가슴에 품어주었던 못난 날 기꺼이 안아주었던 그대 눈빛을 아직도 기억해요. 난 왼쪽 가슴에 새길게요. 영원히 약속해요. 잊지 않겠다고 날 다시 태어나게 해준 널 I promise you I promise you 내가 더 많이 더 잘할게요. 약속해요. 놓지 않겠다고 내게 빛이 되어준 그대 I promise you I promise you 빛나던 봄날 앞에 약속해요.
Oh. Interesting production. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. Good falsetto too.
소중해 선물 같은 하나의 매일이 기념일 같아. 태양에 안겨버린 달처럼 너무 예쁘게 어떤 빛보다 더 반짝여 영원히 약속해요. 잊지 않겠다고 날 다시 태어나게 해준
Love this big chorus.
몇 번의 계절이 스치고 시간이 우릴 지나가도 처음에 우릴 잊지 말아요. I promise you baby 나조차도 몰랐던 나를 알아봐줬던 그대가 있어 지금의 내가 있단 걸 I remember 영원히 I remember forever and ever I promise you
They really said we gotta make this chorus hit. All right, very cool. This was 101 IPU, or I promise you. Very nice. Um, this is great. I will say I initially was not sold on the song, but I will say they turned it around for me. I will say that first chorus I think was a big miss. And it's not bad. Obviously, I feel like the choruses that preceded it crushed it, but I feel like it feels a little stunted, right? Like you listen to that first chorus and you're like, like I wish it was a little longer. I wish they like did something different with it. It's almost like it feels like a tease almost, right? And maybe that's the intention of the song, and I'm just kind of like completely overlooking it, but it does kind of feel like there is a little bit of a tease there, and that's fine. Songs can be like that, but I do feel like they kind of missed the mark a little bit on that. Now, I will say the recovery on the song was incredible because I will say the pre-chorus, the second pre-chorus and the second chorus, I think they absolutely crushed. Like the energy of the song, I think completely shifts. I do think that the build up in that pre-chorus really kind of lands super strong in that chorus. So I love that. I think that that's awesome. As well as that, I think obviously the preceding final chorus I think was also incredible too. So I was a little scared. I didn't think like I said, I didn't think they were gonna, I didn't think they were gonna fumble it by any means, but it was definitely like a little bit of a like, was this intentional? Maybe was it on purpose? And the more that I felt like I listened to the song, I was like, maybe it was a little bit intentional. Vocally, this was also incredible. I think maybe Kaylee pointed out the one member I really liked at the beginning unintentionally. But there is one section of the song where I was like, damn, like this part went super, super good. Let me see if I can find it. It was like where they're all I know who that was. It was whoever this member was with the I don't even know what it is. It's like, I guess it's like a neck band or something like that. Jin Young. Okay, I was correct. All right, cool. I did see Kaylee mention that his voice was really cool. I definitely like the tonality of it. I'm definitely gonna be having to keep an eye out for more of Jin Young's vocals throughout the track, but yeah, definitely enjoyed that a ton. Like I said, the chorus I think is really where the song kind of takes its wings. Certainly, there was just a monumental amount of power in that second chorus that I just think really stood with me. But yeah, overall, I think the production of the song was also really cool. Like there's a lot of cool like panning moments. I think they had like again that like EDM sort of sound, but it doesn't feel like cheesy. Like I think it works well with the song, and like again, I would argue this one holds up pretty well too. But yeah, overall, I thought that was it was great. Like I said, definitely. I definitely noticed some moments with Minhyun as well. That I really liked too. So it was really cool. This one was another one that I think is really solid. Like I said, that first 101 song, Energetic, is gonna be the one to beat certainly, but I would argue this is a very, very much up there certainly as well too. So very nice, very nice. Let's see. Sally says, when you do newest, you should add the 17 newest collab song Heaven. Ooh, okay, yeah, absolutely. Would love to do that. Y'all know I love 17, and obviously I'm sure I'm gonna love newest. So very nice. Sarah says this song is dope. Would love to see it. And No Santa says then we'll almost be done with the Pledge Drama Tour. Oof. Very nice. Kaylee says that was Jin Young, and Jazz also said that. Thank you, Jazz. And Kaylee followed that up and said Jin Young, he was in CIX. Oh, very nice. Okay. And then Sarah says he's gonna have a solo debut soon, isn't he? And Kaylee says yes. He technically was a soloist before CIX, so he's kind of just restarting that. Ooh, okay, very nice. Well, I'm sure we will cover it all here, but very nice, very nice. This was another really solid song, but we are going to keep it moving. Next one we have here is Boomerang, so let's give it a listen. Okay.
돌아버려 boom 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 네 맘 향해 슈 타고 던졌는데 oh my god 화살은 내게 feel 하고 다시 날아와 날 괴롭히네 no 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 대체 뭔데
Love the little like ad-libby vocals in that section. Funny.
어떻게 너는 나를 작아지게 하는 건지 I don't know no 네 얼굴 행동 하나하나 다 Love it no 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 나를 봐 나만 봐내 옆에만 꼭 붙어 있어줘 그대여 가지 마세요 Wing 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 Boomerang Hey 돌아버려 내가 도는 건지 달린 건지 Hey 돌아버려 Boom 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 Boomerang 너에게 나 달려가 Oh baby 내 품에 와줘 솔직하게 말할게 나 같은 남자는 없어 never let you go
Ooh.
조위에서 놀려대 상관이 없어 다 뭐라 하던 너만 내게 있으면 돼 all I wanna do 네 얼굴 행동 하나하나 다 Love it no 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 나를 봐 나만 봐내 옆에만 꼭 붙어 있어줘 그대여 가지 마세요 Wing 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 Boomerang
That vocal stutter is so interesting. All right.
내게 빠진 건지 홀린 건지 날려버려 Boom 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 boom
That reverse section, wow. I like how it's being utilized. That's cool.
Baby 넌 날아가 don't you know 얼마나 내가 원하는지 I promise you 난 너뿐 약속해 어디든 take you there 그 누가 뭐라던 I don't care 네 손에 반짝 끼워줄 수 있게 Wing 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 Boomerang Hey 돌아버려 내가 도는 건지 달린 건지 Hey 돌아버려 Boom 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 Boomerang
All right. Very cool. This was 101's Boomerang. If you're hanging out tonight, thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling. Appreciate it, y'all. But wow. Got some comments here. We'll read through those real quick. Sarah says, I think maybe I just love 101 more than I thought because every song I'm waiting. I'm like, wait, I love this song. I'm starting to feel that too. Even though again, this is my first introduction to them, so maybe the vibes are good. No Santa says this song always gave me NCT vibes, and Jazz says I see it. Malfiar, thanks for hanging. I have not thought about 101 in ages. Forgot how much I enjoyed their music. Oh, very nice. Well, glad to reintroduce. Jazz says same. It's all coming back to me as well, going through the MVs. And Gunky says I also forgot how good their music was. Hey, let's go. I would like to. I'll add on to this. I definitely love this song. This was so much fun. I think their energy is just so interesting to me. Again, kind of coming from the outside perspective, looking in, because I again did not follow Produce 101 season 2 show. So I think to me it's very interesting to see, like, we've covered groups that have come out of you know, these types of survival shows, and some of them I think have done really well, obviously, and some of them, you know, with varying degrees of success, certainly. But I think that this one, like I said, every song that I've listened to so far, I've either like really, really enjoyed, and there's been some ones that I've like enjoyed very much. Like they're obviously not bad songs, but like there are some of the songs I feel like are a little bit more front runners in my mind. But I would say like the baseline for most of these one-on-one songs have been like, oh, I like these are good, I like these, and then kind of only move up the ladder, which is great. So I feel like that shows a testament to how good these songs are, certainly. But I really like the different ways that, again, I feel like I've kind of made this comment already about another song. But I will say, like, the production style, or whoever they went with production wise, excuse me. I think they did a fantastic job, because there is like these really fun, like, there is the fun, like, nuancy sort of things, like at the beginning part of the song where I mentioned where, like, there's like these goofy little ad lib vocal parts, and it's like, well, it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't really like blow me away in terms of it. It's just like a cool like little like vocal quips here and there that I'm just like, damn. It's like the attention to detail was really, really good. I really like kind of like that more like Phrygian scale, like stylization of it. I thought that was really fun. The way that they stylize Boomerang, I always find that K-pop groups always have a unique way of stylizing things like this, and I feel like this song is obviously no exception from that either. But I really like this. I really like the way that they stylized the title of the song. I also really like the bridge in this track as well too, like the reversed like delay or reversed reverb in this song. I thought was very interesting, and then it matched up really interestingly with the MV where everything was also in reverse as well too. So it kind of gives you a better perspective on the immersion. While I still feel like the immersion is still there while listening to the song, I think watching the MV and watching everything go into reverse, and then like hearing the song kind of in certain parts go in reverse as well, just like makes you kind of think as a collective, like, wow, that's really damn cool. And they really thought about it in that capacity. So I love that. But yeah, this is just a fun song. Like, I imagine this one live would just pop. Like, it's just, there's certain songs I feel like in K-pop where I'm just like, this is a phenomenal song. But like, if I was able to see this one in concert, I'd be like, damn, this one probably goes hard as shit. You know what I mean? So I would probably put this song in that category, certainly. It just seems like one of those ones that just would like be a pop-off song live. So, again, probably will never get to see it happen, but, you know, it's still very cool to imagine that's how it could have been. So, very nice. Yeah, this one's definitely high on the totem pole for me, at least. Malviar says, Wannaone was able to learn most of the lessons needed from IOI's run and capitalize on it really well, and a lot of their songs just felt fun to me. Hey, I would also agree with that as well. We did cover IOI, so I am slightly familiar with the trajectory, obviously, of those groups. But yeah, this is a banger. Undeniable, certainly. So, very nice. We're going to keep it moving. The next one we have is Light, so let's check it out.
너의 입술이 가까울 때 심장이 자꾸 멎을 듯해 어쩐지 오늘 너를 볼 때나 익숙함보단 설레임이 더 커 이런저런 말로 설명하지 않게 혹시나 말로 다 보이지 않을까봐 그저 나의 손바닥이 너의 손을 감쌀 때처럼 따뜻하기를 바래 이불처럼 나를 덮어 yeah, yeah. 끝이 없는 기쁨을 가져 yeah, yeah. 아침에 눈 뜨기 시작할 때부터 너만 생각해 내 맘이 벅차올라 에이. 눈이 감길 때 내 팔이 네 머리를 감싸 널 받치고 싶어 나 feel the same 지금 push 내 버튼을 켜줘 Do you feel the same 빛이 되어 넌 날 더
Love that like breakdown. That's cool. All right.
이런저런 말로 설명하지 않을게 혹시나 말로 다 보이지 않을까봐 그건 너의 손발 나긴 너의 손을 감쌀 때처럼 따뜻하기를 바래 이불처럼 나를 덮어 yeah, yeah. 끝이 없는 기쁨을 가져 yeah, yeah. 손깍지 끼고 새벽을 건너온 매일 아침이 너였으면 좋겠어 시간이 아까워 채워주고 나는 죽게 너무 많아 지금 push 내 버튼을 켜줘 You feel the same 빛이 되어 넌 날 더 밝혀줘 내가 재울게 널 마음속까지 걸 곳이 없어질 때까지 yeah, yeah, yeah. 나의 온기가 널 조금씩 물들여 서러지나게 번져가도 yeah, 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 yeah. 네가 예뻐서 그래 네가 예뻐서 그래 감정이 조절이 안 되는 건 네가 너무 좋아서 그래 내 말이 거짓말 같아 지금이 거짓말 같아 너만이 날 만들어 만든 건 전부 네 덕에 지금 push 내 버튼을 켜줘 You feel the same 빛이 되어 넌 날 더 밝혀줘 내가 채울게 널 마음속까지 걸 곳이 없어질 때까지 yeah, yeah, yeah. 나의 온기가 널 조금씩 물들여 서러지나게 번져가다 yeah, you feel the same 오늘따라도 Do you feel the same 오늘따라도 넌 나를 밝혀줘
I love that little bit of ensemble vocals sprinkled in at the end. That was cool. All right, very cool. This was Wannaone's Light. If you're hanging out, thanks for hanging. Connie says, I love this one. This one hooks immediately. Like the melody choice was awesome. I know I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but like honestly, the hooks on a lot of these songs have been really, really good. And it's you know, it's hard to deny that, certainly. But I really like this. You know, I just appreciate kind of like that this one isn't, I would say it's not nearly as crazy as the one we just listened to, Boomerang. But I feel like there is something very clean about the song that I like. And I think, again, listening to a lot of these title tracks in contrast to each other, just because, again, you know, looking back and kind of if I was a fan of Wannaone and just like waiting for their next comeback, like I would be like, you know, this might come a little bit as a shock, I guess, to some degree, but also at the same point, it's something different. You know, it's a different type of vibe. I think the musicality changes with obviously each comeback, which is good. And I think they keep it really fresh. And, you know, I think the songs don't feel like, oh, well, I've heard this one before. It's like, okay, each comeback has always been something a little bit different. Again, we'll get into the final one of Wannaone. But I thought this is great. I immediately loved the melody choice. I could understand if you feel like maybe that melody, like that loop melody might seem a little bit generic at some times, or maybe like repetitive, and I absolutely get that. But I do feel like it kind of is the guiding light of it to some degree, just because, again, I appreciate the fact that it's kind of like, you know, the anchor that's holding the song together, which is really fun. And like the real intricacies of the song, I think, are really stemmed by like the beat choice. And then I think their vocals. I think their vocals were so much fun to listen to. I loved a lot of the runs. As I mentioned before, there's a good bit of ensemble vocals, which I appreciate as well, which I don't think I had heard as much in previous songs, but I felt like this one definitely had more of a stronger, you know, ensemble vocals, which I really appreciate, and you get to hear a lot more of that nuance between all of the members, so I love that. But I liked the one section I was a little surprised about was that they had like that little bit of a breakdown section. I was kind of surprised they didn't end it off with that. I thought maybe like rhythmically, just because again, like the melody choice was kind of pretty much locked in. I thought for sure they would have changed the beat up maybe towards the end of the song. So I'm a little surprised by that, but can't go back in time and change the song. But I think that, again, this song, I think melody wise speaks for itself. But I think the true guiding light of this song is definitely like the rhythm choice, because the rhythm is so much fun. I think it interweaves through the song super well. And then again, their vocal hooks on this song, I think really kind of, again, really drive this song, and I love that. So I think those two elements working together in tandem, I think really made this song pretty memorable to me. It's definitely amongst my favorites now, without a doubt. And again, I feel like it's been so tough to pick like absolute favorites, but I would probably put this up here with Energetic for sure. I enjoyed this one so much. So Sarah says, I don't know if it's the visuals or breakdown or what, but this is so that era of the future bass in K-pop. That's probably makes sense, because this was released 7 years ago. So like I said, I feel like as someone who's listening to it in 2025, I think it still holds up pretty well. So very nice. We're getting to the final 101 song, and then we'll be breaking it off into King Daniel tonight. So let's get into the final one, which is Spring Breeze. So check it out.
너와 내가 만나서 우리가 된 건 기적 다 꿈인 것만 같아 눈 감아도 선명하게 보여 더 잘해주지 못해 자꾸만 후회가 돼내 맘은 그게 아닌데 날 그치고 싶은데 깊은 너를 지나 밝은 빛을 볼 때 함께 느꼈던 따뜻한 기억들 내 편이 되어 날 빛나게 만들어주던 그 미소 그 눈물 날 불러주던 목소리 귀를 자꾸 맴돌겠지 마주보던 서로의 눈빛이 그립겠지만 사랑 설렘 첫 느낌 선명히 남아 우리 다시 만나 봄바람이 지나가면 환하게 웃을게 봄바람이 지나가면 우리 다시 만나 봄바람이 지나가면 한 번 더 안아줄게 봄바람이 지나가면 그때라면 미안 늘 받기만 한 것 같았어 고마워 아름다워져서 텅 빈 내 맘을 넌 덮어 가득 너로 채워줘서 지친 내게 손을 내밀어 너만이 날 숨쉬게 만들어 이제 매일매일 생일 birthday 난 새로 태어난 채로 내 편이 되어 내 빛나게 만들어주던 그 미소 그 눈물 익숙한 너의 모습이 어쩌면 변해가겠지 마주보던 우리의 기억을 지금 이대로 사랑 설렘 첫 느낌 선명히 남아 우리 다시 만나 봄바람이 지나가면 환하게 웃을게 봄바람이 지나가면 그때라면 두렵지 않아 서로의 마음을
Wow. Gorgeous.
걱정하지 마 그 누구
Wow. All right, very cool. This was Wannaone's Spring Breeze, if you're hanging out. Let's see. Malviar says, "Oh, it's time to cry." I was getting there. I was feeling the emotion. This one definitely was tugging at the heartstrings for sure. Connie says, "Oh my God, this is also one of my favorites. So sad." Jazz says, "This is one of my faves." Fair enough. Malfiar said, "This song has been announced to be their final comeback. It's also their farewell song. That optimistic, melancholy just hits, man. It's not goodbye. It's until we meet again." Kaylee says, "Pop off" at the vocal pop off at the end. Yeah, I agree. Um, I was really trying to take a look and read the lyrics. Like, I think this song definitely, wow, beautifully done vocally. I think this one definitely strikes a chord too in terms of the lyricism in the song. Like, I think it is a very like optimistic, like I'll see you again, but like the music just kind of has this sort of like whimsy about it that I really like. And I appreciate the production of the song. I think it has enough dynamics to it, but I feel like in some cases as well, it's nice to hear like just pianos and vocals in that like the bridge section. There's also some moments at the beginning of the song in the first verse where it was just like, instrumental and just vocals. Like, it was very clean. Like, I think the production on the song was incredibly well done, and I think it, obviously screams as a farewell or like a goodbye song. And I think they conveyed the emotion extremely well. And you love to see it because I think as an outsider looking in to some degree, I think it is tough to see like groups that we've covered and obviously have gone away. I think it is really like really emotionally driving still to this day, I feel, with some of these like goodbye songs. Like, even though I have never personally heard of 101 prior to this, or I've heard covers and such, or like other groups doing some b-sides or stuff, but I feel like to me this still tugs at my heartstrings, even though I'm just getting into 101. And I think that is the beauty of this type of song, and I think it also is the beauty of listening to music. I think there's a level of connection that you have with either the lyricism or the musicality behind it. So I really love that. I think there was a lot of great vocal moments throughout the song. Like I said, the ending was probably my favorite part of the song. But there was like some cool harmony sections in this track as well too. Like, I just think it was really well layered, and I think it is a good send off song to fans of 101 certainly. And I think they certainly did it justice as well. So I would also consider this to be a highly rated song for myself as well too. So very nice. I guess some quick favorites from them. I'd probably say no particular order. I loved Light. I would say Energetic, and I would say Spring Breeze. I feel like that would be my top. I feel like that'd be my top three. This was actually very difficult because I enjoyed all of them. But I feel like it was so difficult. Beautiful, I think, would also be another honorable mention. But wow, what an incredible like title song. And I don't know if they were all title songs, but just what an insane discography that I'll have to delve a little bit deeper into after this. So very nice. Shout outs to 101. All right. Well, we're going to keep it moving here tonight. We are stepping into the world of Kang Daniel. I am going to be seeing them next month with my partner. So we're going to go see Kang Daniel, which I'm excited. So I feel like this was a long awaited video to do. So I'm excited to see him perform. And I feel like the only way you got to do is do the homework a little bit. So the first one we're listening to is What Are You Up To? So very excited. Malviar says, at their peak, 101 was giving BTS a fight for being the top boy group. It was a wild time back then. That I could see that. I could absolutely see that. So I'm sure if it was in another life, they could have still been, duking it out still. But very nice, very nice. All right, well, let's get into the first King Daniel song. Like I said, I don't know how much longer after this took place post 101, but y'all can let me know. So let's check it out.
고개를 돌거나 여태 온종일 핸폰을 보내 뭣도 잡혀 내 손에 모든 게 복잡해 머릿속엔 Give me some 내 맘에 이미 난 수십 번을 말해 하루만 함께 하고픈데 계속 바쁘기만 하면 나는 뭐해 두 손을 모아 기도해 Oh girl 난 네가 필요해 My clock is ticking like oh yeah 이젠 알아줘 내 맘을 Baby falling falling 이런 내게 call me call me 너는 지금 뭐해 뭐해 시간은 가는데 Baby I'm falling falling 다시 내게 call me call me 너는 지금 어디에 어디에 이제 내게 와줘
Ooh, love that descending riff.
말해줘 다른 일들은 미뤄 Feeling like I'm dizzy 현기증이 나를 빨리 call me Give me some 내 맘에 나는 또 다시 한번 말해 하루만 옆에 있고픈데 계속 바쁘기만 하면 진짜 뭐해 오늘도 나는 기대해 Oh girl 넌 대답이 없네 My heart is cracking like oh yeah 아무 말이라도 해줘 baby Falling falling 이런 내게 call me call me 너는 지금 뭐해 뭐해 시간은 가는데 Baby I'm falling falling 다시 내게 call me call me 너는 지금 어디에 어디에 이제 내게 와줘 난 왜 이러는 걸까 헤매고 있어
Love the vocals in the back. Super sick.
나는 궁금해 oh yeah waiting waiting 이런 내게 call me call me 너는 저기 멀리 멀리 사라져버리네 Baby I'm waiting waiting 다시 내게 call me call me 너는 저기 멀리 멀리 이제 내게 와줘
Ooh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, King Daniel. We got to do what are you up to, which is what we just covered. Very nice. Kaylee says, by the way, King Daniel produced 101 season 2. He was ranked number 1. That makes sense. Makes sense. Muhammad says, I think you should do a deep dive for IOI. We have done a deep dive for IOI and also members solo stuff after the IOI era. We have done most of them, I believe, to varying degrees, obviously, but we've covered a good amount of IOI. I love Chung Ha, so I know I've covered some of her, most of her comebacks. Somi, we've done a good bit too. So, I think we've done all of hers too. There's definitely a lot of the IOI members we've done solo stuff for too as well. So, very cool. Getting back into King Daniel. This was great. I love kind of like I don't know. I guess it's got kind of like a poppy R&B sort of feel to it, which I appreciate. Y'all know I love a good R&B like style track, and I feel like this one definitely has like a fun vibe to it. I don't know if he still performs this one live. I'm sure I'll find out. We did also do Kim Se-jung as well. Sorry, Gunky. Appreciate it. Thank you for thanks for the clarification. But yeah, I think that I think this song definitely is definitely really, really fun. I think this song has a really cool kind of like major key brightness to it that I really appreciate. But I like how kind of chill Kang Daniel's vocals are. Like I said, I didn't really point him out as much in the Wannaone stuff, but I think that this is, I think this stylization for him, at least from what I could gather, and obviously going through like 14 other songs from him, I'm curious how he grows as a vocalist, as an artist. Like I can already tell he's got like obviously a good structure, a good tonality to his voice. So I'm curious how much and how far he kind of pushes it. But I really like this. This is a good starting point. I think it's got a good hook. I think the vocals are on point. I would say that towards the latter half of the song was really where I think it kind of picked up a little bit more steam, like the way that he kind of layered on top of each other, like layered some of his like vocals on top of his own vocals. And the song was nice. I liked a lot of like the backing vocals and him kind of, again, mixing and matching with his own voice. I thought was really, really good. And I think there's a level of dynamics I appreciate and hopefully will carry on into his future musicality. But yeah, this was a great, like I said, great starting point. Really catchy, really fun, really groovy. I hope he performs this one because I think this one would also do really well live. So I'm curious what his set list is, obviously, but I'm enjoying. This is definitely up my alley for sure. So. Malviar says Daniel went through some legal BS after 101. Crappy company did crappy things. He went solo and formed his own company at the start of his solo career. Very nice. And he says, don't forget one of my favorites. That's fair. That's fair. I can't disrespect Kim Sejong. She's incredible. Malviar says that he is also really a strong dancing background. Used to do b-boy dancing and stuff like that, so he really shines when performing. Like I said, I think to me he feels like a very jack of all trades, master of none. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. That is just the statement. But I do feel like he does have like an effortlessness regardless of what is done. Like I feel like dance wise, I feel like he's got an effortlessness to it. I think vocally he also has kind of an effortlessness to it. So it's cool to see how kind of loose in a good way I feel that he is going to be performing. So it's cool. It's cool to see. Definitely a talented man for sure. So very nice. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is Touchin'. So let's check it out. I'm excited. All right.
네가 날 본 순간 흐트러진 향기가 나를 움직여 홀린 듯 따라가 마주한 두 시선 숨을 죽인 mood 적당한 긴장감 우릴 이끌어 눈빛으로 모든 걸 훔쳐 틈없이 가득 번져 널 안고 싶어 우리 이제 like we know each other 더는 기다릴
feel that. You just pouring hot sauce on your snack and you just get it all over your jersey. All right, very cool. This was Kang Daniels Touchin'. If you're hanging out, thanks for hanging. Kaylee says Kong 2 is fluffy. Listen, Kong 2's got nothing on Meatball, all right? That's all I'm saying. Kong 2's cute, but Meatball's my goat, you know? Jazz says bass is killing it. I agree. Ernesto, what's going on? How you doing, bud? Appreciate you coming through. This was fun. I do, y'all know I love a good bass riff. I feel like this definitely brings that ball. You know, like it's something about it that just like, again, it's got a good riff. You know, I love a good riff that's on the ball, like fun. You know, there's just something really, really, you know, there's something really good about the song that I you know, already was really great. Again, I think very similarly to Malfiar, what they said earlier, I just feel like to me, he is like all encompassing, right? Like there's something about it that I appreciate, that like you almost instinctively, at least from my perspective, I feel like you want to watch the MV because I feel like the storylines have been fun so far. I've been enjoying them. But I think not only that, but like you kind of get the full scope of what he does. Like I feel like if you're listening to his music on Spotify, like is good. Like he's a fantastic talent, but I do feel like it's kind of the complete package when you're able to see him perform. Not only I feel like in the MV, but also like dance wise performing. And then I feel like the vocals just kind of add that extra bit of layering to the song that you're just like, damn, this is like, this guy really knows how to do it all. And that's really impressive to me. So I think going further, like as much as I will probably be listening to his music primarily on Spotify, I also feel like I got to give a lot of credit to him as an artist, whether it be, you know, the dancing skills plus the singing, I think is just, you know, a very insane talent. I feel like he does it with such ease. So I love seeing that, and this was another really good example of that. I like that this one had a little bit more of his falsetto tone. He's got a really like sweet, smooth falsetto tone, and I think he utilized it very well in this song. So I appreciate that. Definitely stands up to that like big bass riff in this song. So I think it is a valiant effort, certainly, and I think he definitely does a great job of making it fun and interesting. But yeah, I feel like from what I've gathered, at least so far from King Daniel, like he seems like a all-rounder in terms of he can do the dancing, the singing. You know, I'd imagine there's maybe potentially in the future some rapping, but it is cool to see kind of it's cool to see him do the work, you know. So definitely like this. This is a fun song. I may prefer the first one a slight bit more, but they've both been great. So excited to delve a little further into his discography. So Kaylee says Meatball is a god, so no one can beat him. That's fair enough. Sarah says don't have us argue with us meatballers about meatball supremacy. Fair enough. And Cookie says meatballers still best. I still can't get over that's our fandom name. That's great. So great. I'll never get over that. That's one of the funniest shit I've ever seen. But all right, very nice. We're gonna keep it moving. This is To You next. So let's check it out.
I can feel 힘이 내 맘속에 누구보다 slowly 들어온 듯해 loving you 벌써 몇 번째 보란듯이 주위만 맴도는데 나란히 너와 걸으며 스치는 너의 머릿결 하얗게 빛나 모든 게 널 향한 내 맘은 seaweed 이 밤이 지나버리고 한 걸음씩 멀어지면 때론 never see you again 시간이 없어 이젠 Tell me 기다렸나 너에게로 가고 있어 너라는 이유 The way I love you Tell me 가까이 와내 곁에 널 두고 싶어 이라는 이유 The way I love you I can tell 이미 나도 내게 빠르게 she's falling 빠져든 듯해 하늘에서 내려준 것이 분명해 너란 여잔들도 없어 anyway 조금씩 다가오는 너 괜시리 내 맘 졸이며 태연하게 말하지만 사실은 내가 참 serious 넌 많이 you drive me insane 살며시 미소 지을 땐 모든 게 다 내 것이 돼 그럴 것만 같은데 기다렸나 너에게로 가고 있어 너라는 이유 The way I love you Tell me 가까이 와내 곁에 널 두고 싶어 이라는 이유 The way I love you I feel you girl Oh no You're so amazing 오늘은 너와 나만의 good time 이 밤이 지나기 전에 어서 내게 말해줘 I need you 기다렸나 너에게로 가고 있어 너라는 이유 The way I love you You got me like that 가까이 와내 곁에 널 두고 싶어 이라는 이유 The way I love you 너라는 이유
All right. Very cool. This was King Daniels to you if you're hanging out. Thanks for hanging. I I have one caveat about this that I just don't get, and it's this end part. Okay, so he has a mop and a bucket, but this looks like carpet. So is he mopping the carpet? Like, brain, I don't, maybe I'm going crazy, but I feel like that I feel like something's wrong there. Wouldn't you have like a vacuum cleaner or something? I don't know. That's my brain cooking right now. But this song was also cooking. I enjoyed this one a lot. I was like, is it, that's what I'm thinking it's carpet, no? I don't think it's like tile or anything. Maybe it's tile. I think it's tile. Okay. If it's tile, then that makes sense. But it looks like carpet. That's why I was like, I thought it was tile. That's fair. It could be. I don't know. I don't know where this was filmed at. So break the like fancy tile. He's mopping the walls. Yeah. We're gonna see him hanging like Spider-Man, you know. If you know, let me know in the comments if I'm going crazy, if y'all thought it was carpet or not. I need to know. But getting back to the song, anyway, I completely ruined my train of thought on that. The song itself was great. I really enjoyed this song a lot. I think he's, again, the choreography in this song was incredible. I feel like this was probably my favorite so far choreography wise. I've really enjoyed it. I think his movement was just like so smooth. The his dancing crew in the song was also incredible. Shout outs to them. But I just thought the choreography was like really encapsulating for whatever reason. But I really enjoyed it a lot. And I appreciate this song a lot too. I think vocally this was also really good. Great like runs. There's like a little bits of ad lib. The falsetto tones were great in this. It's got just a good hook. Like I like I said, all of these songs have felt like, damn, like this one's just got a good vibe. Like I'm bobbing my head, I'm feeling the beat, like enjoying the melody choice, like just a really, really, really well put together songwriting. And I think like though I don't know the song, I was like thinking melody wise that I was just like, damn, like this is just just got a good hook to it. So really enjoyed this one a lot. I think this one's probably gonna be amongst my favorites so far. I would still think this one's gonna hold up very well in terms of my favorites from Kang Daniel. But I really enjoyed this one a lot. This is just such a fun song, and I think the MV was also really well put together too, and a little goofy, a little fun, so it was cool to see. So very nice, very nice. It looks like everybody was thinking it was Tile, so I guess maybe I need to get my eyes checked or something. But Mohammed says thoughts on Purple Kiss dance banding in November. I'm so upset. I love Purple Kiss. I got to see them last year, and they're so sweet. So I'm really upset that they're gonna be disbanding. They're one of my favorite girls groups. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I know that they announced a final US tour, so I'm hoping it comes and hits my area. Because I'll be trying to do my best to go out and see them on their final tour. But yeah, they're incredible group. I'm definitely a bit sad that they will be disbanding, but obviously best of luck to all the girls and what they do future tense. So very nice, very nice. All right, we're gonna get into the next one, which is Zico and Kang Daniel. Which, listen, I feel like Zico cooks with some collabs, so this might be on top of the list here. So check it out. Oh, it's a Pepsi. Oh, don't even.
눈 감고 앞을 상상해 보통의 삶을 사는 게 어떤 건지 잘 모르겠어 날 데리고 도망가줘 늘 자유롭고 싶고 혼자이긴 싫어 집 밖을 나서도 닫힌 방 같아 신호라도 주듯이 깜빡이는 불빛 꺼내놓아두게 Everybody knew 빨간색 하늘과 파란색 바닷가 여름이 담긴 병에 차갑게 땀이 맺혀 Searching for meaning We all need to refresh 숨죽이며 기다린 날이야 목청껏 외쳐 Let's make it better
The beat's interesting. Okay.
Let's kick it together 가끔 놓쳐도 I don't mind 그만큼 가벼워진 걸 춤을 잘 추고 싶다면 조금만 템포를 낮춰 급해서 좋을게 It's so much fun 시작하고 Time out 여전히 오락가락 짜증났다가 신이 나 다시 그게 삶의 장단 Hop out the chill 걱정 마 다음은 아무도 못 가로채 받아들여 너 다음을 We can't get back yesterday 하늘 높이 뛰어서 주제 넘게 감성 충만한데 시간은 턱없이 부족해 Enjoy your every moment 빨간색 하늘과 파란색 바닷가 여름이 담긴 병에 차갑게 땀이 맺혀 Searching for meaning We own it to refresh 움직이며 기다린 날이야 목청껏 외쳐 Let's make it better Let's kick it together
All right, very cool. This was Zico and Kang Daniel and their song Refresh. Very nice. I know I've said this before on stream, and I'll probably continue on with my my trend here. Kaylee says, so it's not technically a Pepsi ad, but also is it was a collab thing with Pepsi to promote Korea and such. I feel like I might. I listen. I would throw this maybe under an ad song. Listen, the literal first frame of the MV has the Pepsi logo. So, listen, if they don't think it's an ad song, then you know, I'm not Korean. You know, so I feel like that's an insane comment to make, that it's not technically an ad song, but it is. I like this a lot. I feel like a lot of the ad songs genuinely are good. Again, that is probably another one where I'm like, I feel like there's a laundry list of songs that like are ad songs that are just incredible. I'm sure we'll have to do all of them at some point as well too. But this was great. I think this beat was so much fun. I liked a lot of the rhythm choices in the song. It's you know, no pun intended, it is very refreshing. So I like that chorus. I thought that was kind of a good reprieve to, you know, the different vibe of the verses of the song. So I definitely appreciate that. I also liked Zico's voice against Kang Daniel. Like, Zico had like a good rap verse, which shout outs to him. But his vocals also are really incredible too. So I like that. I like their combination of their voices together. I was definitely stoked when I saw this on the playlist. So I'm glad that it lives up to that lives up to the heights, certainly. But yeah, I thought the beat was fun. I think the vocal choices were great. I loved like a lot of the nuances of Zico's voice. I think he did a great job in that like second chorus, and King Daniel did a great job in the first chorus. So I like that they kind of switched off. It didn't feel like a Zico feature. It just kind of felt very collaborative, and so I love that. So this is a great song. This is definitely amongst the top songs for sure. Is it my favorite of tonight? I feel like that's a little bit difficult to say, but I do feel like it is a really fun song that we'll absolutely go back and listen to again. So very nice. Connie says, I remember when this came out, I was obsessed. LOL. I'm sure you might become re-obsessed with the song again. Who knows? Kaylee says, maybe more like it wasn't produced to only promote Pepsi is more fitting. That's fair. You know, I like the Korean, like obviously the homage to a lot of like the Korean heritage, like, you know, obviously showing love and appreciation for that as well. A lot of the kind of like imagery in the MV, I think obviously is very representative of Korea as well. So I definitely like that. I think to me I think it serves its purpose, certainly, and obviously I feel like to me as well it does have some Pepsi nods in it as well. So I thought it was cool. So very nice track. Very nice. All right, we've got another one. This one is Waves, and this one features Simon, Dominic, and Jamie, which I don't know either of the two features. So if y'all can get me informed, that would be great. So check it out.
일단 다가와봐 너무 멀지 않아 우리 둘의 방향 궁금해 우리들의 direction 나와 같은 마음이면 action 누군지도 모르겠어 난 자꾸 나를 쳐다보는 게 Maybe it's the way you make me fall Come on Toronto 너 취하겠어 일단 오케이 I'm poor 너가 오고 나서부터 여긴 이미 poor 일부러 흘리는 게 아니고 넌 넘쳐흘러 보여 Like water Yeah I wanna get to know you Hey 내 맘이 파도 속의 wave I'm drowning 맡겨 너의 wave We're surfing 빠져나오지도 못하게 소나기 쉽게 휩쓸리는 한 본능의 파도에 Oh yeah Shit makes me some type of way 너도 나보고 있잖아 맘이 빼나기 내 맘이 변하기 전에 널 나에게 맡겨 누군지도 모르겠어
low tone to the top.
You better come on like you on this gum. Wasabi told me to spice it up. Yes, downward the budgets. You playing dumb, I'ma give you three. Some Hey, little mommy, 파도 속의 wave. I'm drowning. 맡겨 너의 wave. We're surfing. 빠져나오지도 못하게. 소나기. Ooh, get you one tonight. Te amo. Get you one tonight. Get you one tonight. I need you now pronto. 눈을 뗄 수가 없네, you got me crazy. 너라는 존재가 조금 부담이 되지. 갈수록 서로에게 취해가. 황혼에서 새벽까지 fiesta. Hey, little mommy, 파도 속의 wave. I'm drowning. 맡겨 너의 wave. We're surfing. 빠져나오지도 못하게. 소나기. 소나기.
Ooh. Okay. This is a teaser to the album. So very nice. All right, this was Kang Daniel and their song Waves featuring Simon, Dominic, and Jamie. Very nice. Kaylee says, really, both are fairly known, I'd say. I have not heard of either one of them. So very nice. Muhammad said Jamie, also known as Jimin. I don't know if that's accurate, but I'm sure maybe it might be. Let's see. Connie says, I was obsessed with this one. I think I listened to this like more than 400 times. Not joking. Wow. That's you must have loved it. And probably still do love it. And Connie says, I love Simon Dominic's tone. Yeah, his tone was really cool. Formerly known as Park Jimin. Okay. Very nice. Biscuit says, you may have heard of Jamie before. I'm not sure. Jamie sounded familiar, but I don't know. And Muhammad says Jamie, aka Jimin from After School Club. Oh, okay. Yeah, neither one of those I'm familiar with. So, very nice. I thought the song was incredible. I really enjoyed this a lot. I will absolutely be coming back and listening to this one. I love the kind of like, I don't know if it's technically Moonbaton, but it definitely kind of has a little bit of a Moonbaton sort of beat to it. But I love the instrumentation of the song. I feel like it was nailed super well. I also couldn't get over that, like, Kang Daniel was like he obviously was saying like mommy in the song, but then like I heard like him ad-lib mommy in the back, and I was just cracking up just because I think it's like outrageous, but in like a good way. I just was shocked that like like I could just imagine him being in a vocal booth and having to do that. But I think the song in and of itself was great. I actually feel like the collaboration between all of them was incredible. Like, I think there are definitely elements of the track where I was like, damn, like I really like this part, and like Kang Daniel's vocals were really great. Like, I love that, again, they've been stacking his vocals where you've got some good harmonies. I feel like his main vocal tone is like really kind of in the direct center of the song, which is great. But I think he cuts through the song really well, and you know, I love the tonalities he used throughout this song. But I will also got to give a lot of credits to both Jamie and Simon Dominic, because they also feel like equally, if not as important as Kang Daniel in the song, which I like, because they're not, I don't feel like either one of them was fighting for the spotlight, but I do feel like having three different people kind of cycle in through the song and have their own like flavor and, you know, different ideas to put in the song, I think they did a great job of sprinkling them both in a really good amount and still feeling like it, you know, is an incredible part of the song. So I love that. I think each one of them got their flowers, certainly, and I love that. I would say if I had to choose, I would maybe say that Simon Dominic was my favorite. Jamie is a very close second. I love her like singing tone. and like her vocal delivery, but I also really like her rap tone as well too. So I feel like it was a good showing of all of them. So I definitely will be, hopefully we'll check out maybe Simon Dominic in the future as well as Jamie. I know we've kind of spread our wings a little bit here on the show, so would love to get into more K-hip hop. I know we did Kisum not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. Shaz to Uni. So I know we could, inevitably get into some, K-hip hop. I know we did BY, a couple BY songs. So if you want to see more of that, let me know, because I would love to delve into that genre, because I feel like we have not tapped it as much, so we should do it. But very nice. Let's see. Kaylee says Simon Dominic is fairly known in the K-hip hop scene. And Jazz says Jamie, former member of 15 and Under, JYP. She is now a soloist. That would also make sense. And Kaylee says, "Oh my God, BY, yes." I know you love BY, so we'll have to do it. Be fun. We'll once the Boys Planet series is over, then that will open up a lot more doors to do other groups. And this is not a slight to Sarah. Sarah's great. I love her, but I know it is something that hopefully we'll get into more groups in the foreseeable future. But very nice, very nice. We're gonna keep it moving with the Kang Daniel train. Man, he is crushing it tonight. This next one is Who Are You? So let's check it out.
뜨거워진 숨을 채워 빛들이 마주한 길 위로 자고 있었던 본능을 다 깨워 차가운 날 데워 Girl, I'm feeling your danger 날 자극해 낯선 느낌을 원해 뜨겁게 타오른 내 맘 두 눈이 마주칠 때 I'm gonna blow your mind 더욱 빠져들고 싶어 내게 다가가 지금이 어떤 순간이 될지 알아 난 닿을 때 가까워진 너와 나
Full pre-chorus.
시선 부딪혀 틈을 좁혀줘 Why can't you just have some fun with me 눈빛에 담긴 말에 모든 게 정해진 시간 귓가에 속삭일 땐 I'm gonna blow your mind 짙어지는 지금 분위기에 취해 난 계속 번져가는 이 감정에 끌려가
Great chorus.
하늘에 붕 뜬 것 같아 yes 이제 shine 담겨 모든 게 swish yeah 한순간 이렇게 예고조차 없이 모든 걸 흔들어 놔 Way you move that thing around I say oh baby don't wait all night long to tell me that you want me 너를 알고 싶어 yeah 희미한 네 조명 사이로 오직 너만 보여 나 이제 내게 더 가까이 와 Girl I know exactly who you are
All right, very nice. This is King Daniel. Who you are? Very nice. Um, this was great. This was like I said. I want to be beating a dead horse because I think I have said great about all of the songs tonight. Um, but this was another phenomenal one. Like, I just love the beat. It's a good carryover. I feel like from Waves, which is, and I don't know if this song and who you are from the same release or not. But I would be surprised if that is the case. But I really enjoyed this one. I think the beat, it was incredible. Again, I think it's in that sort of Moombahton ballpark. I wouldn't say it's like 100%, but I would say that there are definitely elements of that. Vocally, I think this one's probably my favorite so far. I love his kind of range. I feel like he uses it so well in the song. There's like that in the bridge. He kind of had that like 808 trap beat section where he's kind of doing like a little bit of rapping, which I like. I don't know if he was. I don't believe he was the rapper in Wannaone. To my knowledge, I could be wrong, but I feel like his vocals and like the way that he kind of did a lot of the stuff vocally, I think in this was really interesting. And I would argue this song, at least from a vocal perspective, not only like relating to kind of like more of the rap tones, but also vocally, I think this one seems the most expressive. It seems the most daring in terms of his stylization. So I like that. I love the pre-chorus build in this song. I think that's probably my favorite section of the song so far. Or this song, excuse me, so far this evening. I also really appreciate the payoff in the chorus as well. I think it is a good build up to set up into that chorus. So I think structurally it's really fun there. But yeah, the falsetto tones are really gorgeous in this. He's got a really good falsetto vocal range as well too. Like very clean, very pristine. But I think it just kind of hits super well. And then that's not even to talk about his like choreography and like the dancing skills, because the dancing is so much fun. I feel like the energy is so much like in there, and I do feel like his delivery of that is just another really cool thing about what he does. So definitely appreciate this one a lot. This one is gonna stand out to me just because of the variation in this. Like it doesn't feel like some of the other ones that I've listened to tonight, which is a good thing. So enjoy this one. This was another top contender for sure. So very nice. We're gonna keep the train a moving here. This one is Paranoia, I believe. So let's check this one out. Kaylee says Waves and Who You Are from the same album, but Waves was also a single. Okay, fair enough. That seemed about right. So I'm glad that I was on the same page. So very nice, very nice. Let's check out Paranoia.
어두운 밤으로 낮이 무서워져 빛이 닿지 않는 내 방이 익숙해져 하나씩 Am I just crazy or dreaming awake 이제는 I can't escape 반복된 하루에 무뎌져 가 Oh why No 눈을 가려 Demons in the night Paranoia Don't you look behind Oh my 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 난 숨겨져 있길 원해 Don't mind my mind 아무도 찾지 못하게 You can run, you can hide But they always find 던져가 in your heart They live in the dark
Ooh.
빛 하나 없는 공간 어둠이 없대 표정 따윈 다 사라져 또 이렇게 끊임없이 들려와 지독한 밤 Wasn't with me back then but you're right here now 날 찾아오는 악몽에 Nightmares make me go insane 까맣게 짙어진 밤 속에 있는 무엇이 alone in the dark 눈을 가려 Demons in the night Paranoia Don't you look behind Oh my 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 난 숨겨져 있길 원해 Don't mind my mind
Okay. I feel like it's halftime. Yeah. Nice. I like that, like, ominous whistling. It's so cool. All right, very cool. This was Kang Daniel's Paranoia. If you're hanging out for the Wannaone / Kang Daniel deep dive, thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling. I'll preface that I have heard this one already. My girlfriend said, "Listen, I know you want to cover Kang Daniel, so we can go see him perform, but I have to show you this one song." And I'm like 95% sure it was this one, and this is her favorite Kang Daniel song, so it makes sense. Because this one is a banger for sure. I really like this one a lot. I will say I didn't get to listen to it as intently as I'm listening to it now, and I think it's so cool. Like, I love, like, the more ominous, like, darker tonality of this. A lot of minor chords, which I feel like, again, plays into the song title. But I also feel like instrumentally wise, like the whistling, like a lot of like the like string plucking and stuff, like it has like the darker edge to it that I really like, and I think he does it does a really great job of that. I also liked a lot of like the horror elementation of it, like the scream, like stuff like that. I think it just kind of amplifies that sort of like darker sound, so really appreciate that. I will say that the chorus is probably my favorite part of the song. Like, just like that melody choice is going to be lodged in my brain somewhere now. But I just love how it's like very ominous. It really kind of sets up that dark tone, as I've been stressing a lot in my commentary on this song. But I feel like he just kind of just continues to beat you over the head with that sort of like vibe and sound, and so I really like that a lot. I also appreciate, I don't know if it's necessarily halftime, but like the way that the song is broken up, especially closer to the end of the song, was really fun. I like how kind of the rhythm kind of pulls out a little bit, which again might kind of present itself as like a halftime section, but I love the way that they kind of stylized that and then brought the beat back again in that like final chorus. Was really sick. His ad libs are also really incredible. I think they're a little bit more notable in this song, just because again the more minor tones of the run, I feel like, make this track stand out a little bit more. And I love the kind of ensemble vocals of this. I think again it plays to the eeriness of the track in and of itself. So great song. I feel like, listened to it already, haven't seen the MV, but I feel like the MV kind of plays into that dark, interesting concept as well too. So definitely appreciate that a lot. But this one's a banger and a half. So love to see it. Jazz says a banger. Biscuit says Paranoia. Connie says this one is so good. Gongi says this is my favorite song by him. The song is so good. Sarah says a banger, and Biscuit says love this song. And then Cal followed it up with so good. Very nice, very nice. It seems like a very very popular song from him, so would make sense. Very nice. We're gonna keep it moving. The next one we've got is Antidote, so check it out. Oh, that was a cool transition of the tattoo on his neck. Wow.
I try to run away. 숨쉬기조차 두려워 can't take no more 초점을 잃어버린 눈빛이 허공을 바라볼 때 yeah. 걷잡을 수도 없이 온몸에 퍼져터 지독하게 I'm looking for the antidote 이 밤을 끝내줘 I'm begging for the antidote 깨끗이 지워줘 Please let me go 긴 어둠 속 날 꺼내줘 Just let me go I'm looking for the antidote 숨을 날카롭게 둘러싼 숨이 거칠어져가 그 안에 갇힌 채로 완전히 날 익숙한 외로움은 더 짙게 끝없이 흘러 in my veins 잠깐의 꿈조차 짙은 어둠 속 외면해버린 상처는 갈수록
This pre-chorus is so interesting.
움직일 수도 없이 더 잔인하고 더 지독하게 I'm looking for the antidote 이 밤을 끝내줘 I'm begging for the antidote 깨끗이 지워줘 Please let me go 긴 어둠 속 날 꺼내줘 Just let me go I'm looking for the antidote yeah, yeah. 어두운 밤에 나 홀로 한계치를 넘어선 더 끝이 없는 어둠엔 That's real talk 몸부리치는 것도 무의미해지는 것 지독한 밤들을 어서 지워줘 Antidote I'm looking for the antidote 이 밤을 끝내줘 I'm begging for the antidote 깨끗이 지워줘 깨끗이 지워줘 긴 어둠 속 날 꺼내줘 Just let me go I'm looking for the antidote that antidote
All right, very cool. This was Kang Daniel's Antidote. If you're hanging out, thanks for chilling. This one was very interesting. I like the stylization. It feels very different from the previous song, which is fun. You know, you love to see it. I think the guitar choice was an interesting one because the kind of like really fade, like it feels like either it's a phaser or it doesn't sound like a chorus. So it's definitely got to be a phaser sort of like guitar sound, and it's also set back like very interestingly in the mix. Like so I thought that choice was unique. You know, it definitely feels different in that aspect. But I liked that he kind of combines this more like rock tonality of the guitar matched up with like his more like 808 like K hip hop like sort of sound, like trap hip hop sort of sound. So I think it was a really cool kind of amalgamation of that. I will say that the chorus of this song is absolutely a hit. Like I really enjoyed the chorus throughout the song. So I think that's kind of to me one of the more standout parts. But like the instrumentation, I think is one of those things where I like it, but also I feel like is something that's probably gonna grow on me as the more that I listen to it. I think on first jump I was like, I don't know if I really like this, and as a guitar player, I feel like sometimes like not that I get turned off by it, but it's just something that maybe just kind of has to grow on me a little bit more because I'm just so. I feel like sometimes I could be a little bit anal about like guitar sounds certainly. But I thought this one was a very interesting one, and by the end of it, I was like, I appreciate kind of the nuance of it. It like has a unique vision to it, and so by the end of it, I was like, I get it. It makes sense. It's and I think kind of again that started to pick up a little bit more ground. But yeah, I think it was very unique. I think like the structure of it feels like there's a lot going on with it, but also simultaneously I feel like it is very predicated on like his vocals. Like obviously he had like a cool like bits of ensemble vocals that kind of had like a little bit of ad-libbing going on that give more space to the song. I think a lot of the focus was meant on that guitar sound along with, obviously Kang Daniel's voice. So it was a cool, interesting clash. I think just with more listens, it might be one that I'll kind of gravitate more towards. But I would say on first listen, like first verse, I was like, this one's an interesting one. But I think by the end of it, I think it took me in a very positive direction. So I definitely like this one, but I can foresee this one growing on me a little bit more. So Connie says in all caps, my fave song. Hey, let's go. And Kaylee says this and Paranoia are on the same album too, but same thing with Paranoia as a single / pre-release. Fair enough. I could definitely tell that they are from the same release just because I think there is an eclecticness to both songs. So I think that maybe this release is just a very eclectic release as a collective. But I did enjoy this. I like I said, I think it grew on me a ton. I'd be curious if people enjoyed this one on first jump or if it took them a couple tries to really enjoy. It seems like Connie enjoyed it pretty immediately. So I don't know. I don't want to speak for everybody. But I do feel like this one will probably grow on me a little bit more. So if you are one of those people, that hopefully that's a positive thing. So we'll find out. But anyway, we're going to keep it moving. The next one of tonight is, it looks like Ready to Ride is the song name. So let's check it out. Jazz says, I remember liking it off the bat. Oh, fair enough. Damn.
Yeah, start this thing from the jump. 지루한 장면들 안에서 뭔가 다른 계획이 있어. Let 'em know. 지금부터 우린 어디론가 떠나고. 내 맘속에 못 갔다. 모든 걸 다 잊어가. 하나 둘씩 더 내려놔. We gon' turn it up, we gon' turn it up. 빨라지는 심장 소리. 마치 꿈을 꾸듯이 No ceiling where we going now So tell me if you're ready to ride 이 밤을 그냥 놓기 싫어 나 Yeah, I'm a special kind of crazy 지금 너와 내가 가는 길을 묻지 말고 따라와줘 Open up your mind I push the pedal till it hits the floor Let it rock 펼쳐진 길을 for no reason 굳이말 안 해도 antigonese 흘러간 기분에 널 맡겨 따분한 시계는 던져도 너를 찾지 못해 누구도 조금 무시해도 돼 We can just run away Move until you get no more 이 밤이 아침까지 이어지는 순간에 우린 끝없이 빠져들어가 So tell me if you're ready to ride 이 밤을 그냥 놓기 싫어 나 Yeah, I'm a special kind of crazy 지금 너와 내가 가는 길을 묻지 말고 따라와줘 Open up your mind Yeah, I'm a special kind of crazy Special kind of crazy
All right, very cool. This was Kang Daniel, Ready to Ride. If you're hanging out, thanks for chilling. This one was very interesting. I don't feel completely sold on this one. And it's not that it's a bad song. I don't feel like there's really any song that I haven't liked. Okay, I'm gonna retract that. There have been a lot of songs I've liked tonight. I feel like this one is a very solid song. I think the production was fun. I think it seems like, at least not only music production wise, it is stepped up a notch, but I also feel like videography wise it has also stepped up a notch. So I think vision wise, I appreciate it. I fuck with it. I will say that this song definitely kind of just feels like it's there. Like there's something about it that I kind of wish there was a little bit more. Like I think this has like good bones to it. I just kind of was hoping for a little bit extra. Like I know he is not only I think an incredible vocalist, but I think he's also an incredible like choreographer and putting some of these together. And I really enjoyed the choreography of the song, but I just feel like there's just something missing. There's like a little bit of pizzazz that I'm missing about the song that just kind of would set it off a little bit more. I think maybe the only thing that I can think of is just like the final chorus of the song is just kind of missing like a closing, right? Like there's something about it that just kind of screams like, oh man, if he just did like an insane like vocal ad lib moment or like really popped off vocally, I would have been like, damn, like it all culminated to that point and really kind of sold me. I think his delivery is really smooth in this song, and I like that. But I think in the same perspective, like the instrumental is fun, like it's a little spacey, and obviously I think maybe it's to play on the sort of like space themedness of this song and MV. But I don't know. I was just kind of expecting a big push, and I didn't really kind of get that as much as I anticipated. So I think that if it did have a little bit more of had a little bit more of a interesting delivery, or there's some like pop off moments, I think this song would have definitely resonated, and I think would have pushed this. I think it would have pushed the dynamics of the song a little bit more than where they were at now. But yeah, I didn't think it was a bad song. I think it's a very solid song. I just wish there was more. And I think if you're talking about a song about like Ready to Ride and kind of like pushing the limits of like, again, I know I'm using it as a metaphor, but it kind of is true to the song. But like, he's saying like, oh, well, I'm going to push this motorcycle as far as it can go. I feel like this song needs to push itself as far as it can go as well too. Like there's just something about it that I think we're sitting at a comfortable 8, and I think we could push it to like a 9 or a 10, and that would have just made the song that much more compelling in terms of the song itself. But yeah, that's my personal take on it. If you feel differently about it, then that's up to your discretion as well too. So, but yeah, I do feel like there is a little bit more in the tank, and I think there could have been Could have been sick, but Kaylee says this one was a single release. Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, I like I said, not a bad song. I'd probably put this in like mid-tier for me. So very nice. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. The next one we have is Upside Down. So check it out.
생각대론 되는 게 입만 열면 다 반대 나 무조건 퇴퇴퇴 문제야 문제 의아해 모든 게 내게만 이런 일이 생기는 게 하는 일이 죄다 반대로 I'm just thinking 우연이라 하기엔 해도 너무해 Wanna know the reason 알 수가 없네 세상을 반대로 사는 것 같아 다시 바꿔놔야겠어 거꾸로 돌려 모든 걸 위아래로 upside down 온 세상을 뒤집어 놔
That's the push I'm talking about. All right.
멋대로 내 멋대로 모든 걸 Turn until the lights go out 온 세상을 뒤집어 놔 I'm living in the upside down 멋대로 내 멋대로 모든 걸 성가시고 거슬려 뜻대로 되는 게 하나도 없어 오늘 날씨 짓궂어 And I keep thinking 상상이라 하기엔 너무 지루해 Wanna know the reason 알 수가 없네 나 혼자만 뒤로 가는 것 같아 다시 바꿔놔야겠어 거꾸로 돌려 모든 걸 위아래로 upside down 온 세상을 뒤집어 놔 I'm living in the upside down 멋대로 내 멋대로 모든 걸 Turn until the lights go out 온 세상을 뒤집어 놔 I'm living in the upside down 멋대로 내 멋대로 모든 감아도 왜 일이 어지러울까 하루도 맘 편히 살 수가 없네 내게도 기적이 오길 기도해 매일 꿈에서 보았던 거꾸로 돌려 모든 걸 위아래로 upside down 온 세상을 뒤집어 놔 I'm living in the upside down 멋대로 내 멋대로 모든 걸 Turn until the lights go out 온 세상을 뒤집어 놔 I'm living in the upside down 멋대로 내 멋대로 모든 걸
Man, those over the top ad libs, man. Very nice. All right, this was Kang Daniels Upside Down. If you're hanging, you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. If you're watching on Twitch, you know I love y'all. But was he listening to my notes that I just gave the last song? Cuz I think he took my notes into consideration. I'm obviously joking. I know this came out before I made commentary on this, but man, this took all the cues that I was looking for. I think like this song strikes with conviction. There's something about it that I really liked. I like the kind of more somberness of the verses. I think the pre-chorus is subtle, but like works out really well. And then I think the dynamic entry of the choruses in the song have been really great. Like I think the hook in the choruses have been incredible. I really like that, but I do feel like the piece de resistance is absolutely that final chorus. I think that really kind of took everything about the song that was already good, and I think it just amplified it even more. I think King Daniel obviously was able to crush it vocally, and I love that because I think he definitely made his mark on the end of the song, which you love to see. I think, like, to me, it's like I knew there was more in the tank. Like, he's a very talented artist, so I feel like he was just kind of holding it in. And I'm glad that he was kind of able to show it off a little bit more in this song, and just again show what he's capable of doing. Not only I think from like the dancing choreography perspective, but also vocally. I think there's just so much. There was just so much talent in the song that you just can't help but be like, damn, this was good. So I definitely like this one a lot. I think, like I said, could be, I would argue, amongst the favorites from Kang Daniel tonight. So very nice, very nice. Kaylee's is, oh wait, that was last song's commentary. Excuse me. So very nice. Everyone looks like they're enjoying it. We got the dancing dino. We got the penguin. So we're vibing. This is a vibe song. So very nice, very nice. All right, we're keeping it moving. The next one we've got is Parade. So check it out.
어지럽게 돌고 도는 세상 겉은 완벽해 보이겠지만 그 안에 갇혀있는 너와 날 좀 내버려둬 we'll be fine 자유로움은 아름다운 법 이미 오래전에 잊혀진 것 기나긴 시간을 참아왔던
This melody sounds really familiar. What? Wow.
Cause it all means nothing, 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 nothing 주변을 들어놓게 이건 우리들만의 Paranoia It's too late 우리 모두의 주인공 만들고 다니면 어디로 그게 뭐가 중요한지
Like that little run at the end. That was cool. All right. This was Kang Daniel and their song Parade. Very nice. I still, man, that's gonna throw me for a loop. I can almost be assured that I feel like that like verse, like the melody in the verses feels, I don't know. It kind of gives me like, it kind of is like almost borderline like a little bit of a classical phrasing. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but like I can envision it being kind of like a classical vocal motif. But I can't confirm. It just feels like that. You know, I feel like I've heard that melody choice before. So, you know, maybe I'm hearing things, which is a totally a possibility, but I thought for sure maybe it could have just been a homage to something, you know, some like classical music. I was very surprised. I feel like that switch between like the really interesting kind of like almost borderline classical melody and then having like more of a boombastic, a little bit more grandiose sort of chorus. I think it was a cool juxtaposition. Obviously you saw my shocked face the first time we went through it, but I think as subsequently as we got through the song more, like it was cool. I think it's like, you know, obviously I knew what was going to happen in the second chorus, but still had a really big dynamic punch to it that I wasn't really expecting as much. So it was cool to hear that. I also really like the way that the instrumentation was stylized. Like I love the kind of big that big sort of punch of the instrumentation. Like the production on the song just feels a lot like bigger. It like has more of a huge sound to it. So I love that. It's it just really works out. I didn't think I was gonna like this song as much as I thought I was going to, and not that I had like bad thoughts about it by any stretch, but I think it really kind of like turned a new leaf in my mind on how good it was. And I like at the end again, very similarly to the previous song. I love that this one just again had like a very kind of like big ending to it. I think, you know, Kang Daniel was able to show off his vocals again a little bit more. And I also liked a lot of the like the ensemble, like almost gang vocal type stylization where like you could hear like the reverb, you could hear other people's like singing along as well in that section. So it was a good kind of contrast, and I think it worked out really well for the song and as well for Kang Daniel. So this was a fun one. Definitely, this one definitely was probably the shock of the night in my opinion from this song. So I definitely like this. Let's see what we got. Jazz says another great one. Connie says I like this one. Callus or I read that too fast. Kaylee says this one is from the same album. Gunky says this was a really good one, and Callus says I like this one a lot. Very nice, very nice. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. All right. Well, we're gonna keep it moving. We have SOS next, so let's check it out. Very interesting filtered synth. 점점 조여가는 발걸음 깨진 피켓 사인 위에 적힌 메아리가 돼 온 목소리 더 퍼져가 멀리 더 멀리 이제와 멈추기는 일러 타오르고 있는 내 맘속 밤하늘의 불을 비춰줘. 처럼 날카로워 내기에 속삭이는 소리 no more Surrounded by the snakes and the cobras 벼랑 끝에 마주친 길이 my way 앞만 봤어 I've been running all day 숨가삐 달려 질주하고 있어 다시 찾아 너의 freedom 아직까지도 길을 잃어 찾고 있어 blueprint to my soul 밤하늘의 불을 지펴줘. giving Mad Max.
Till it's over, yeah. I will break out 내 마지막 숨조차. Breathe in, breathe out. 벅차오르니 목이 터지도록 더 크게 불러봐. SOS. 어디든지 달려갈 테니 외쳐봐. SOS, SOS.
I'm curious I'm curious now if Kang Daniel has some lore to his concepts, but very cool. This was Kang Daniel's SOS. If you're hanging out, thank you for hanging. Thanks for watching. I like this a lot. This definitely pulls from like my rock background, so I appreciate that. The MV was also wild. Shout outs to the VFX on this. I think that was incredible. They did a fantastic job. And also enjoyed the concept as well, similarly to Kala. But this is a great song. I think the energy is certainly there. Like I'll be honest, I wasn't really expecting him to kind of do a song like this, but also at the same point, I think he's been kind of hinting at it throughout, some of the singles here. So I feel like it was almost inevitable for a song like this to be released. So I like that. I think I'll get my gripe out of the way. The only thing that I will say, and I'll go and listen to this in my free time, I will say some of the sound effects in this MV were a little too loud. Just because I think I'm an enjoyer of the music, and so I feel like some of the explosions and stuff kind of take me a little bit out of the MV. I like the concept. I just think it was just, again, I understand it's supposed to be a little bit over the top, but I think if I'm coming to it for the music and enjoying it, I that's kind of the first thing I look for. So that's not necessarily a gripe towards the song. It's just maybe my gripe about MV sometimes. But I think the song was great. I like the kind of, again, the rock tonality of it. I think Kang Daniel has a unique way of traversing that land. So I think it was really cool to hear him kind of take that on a little bit more aggressively. I like that he kind of has, I don't know if it's maybe just me, but he kind of has a little bit of vocal rasp in this song. Not a lot, but I feel like there's like a little bit of like, there's a little grit, and I think that kind of plays into that more rock tonality of it. I will say the chorus of the song is phenomenal too. Really, really, really memorable, really strong chorus. So I definitely appreciate that a lot. And I feel like there are certain songs where I feel like he may have popped off a little bit more. I think that this one just like not only conceptually wise, but I think also sonically wise is just so good. I think it's really well within its lane, and I love a lot of like the vocal bends in the song. I think he's got, like, again, a good, really awesome control of his vocals. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one a lot. I would probably put this pretty high up on the tier list for sure. I wouldn't say this is my favorite KD song as of currently right now, but I would say it's amongst the favorites for sure, just because, again, love the rock tonality. I think he does it well. I hope he revisits it at some point, but really good shit. So nice stuff here. So let's see a couple comments here. Uh, do, 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 let's see. Gunky says this one's a really good one. Cal says I like this one a lot. Biscuit says this is my favorite KD song. Wow, awesome. Jazz says love this one too. And Biscuit followed it up and says one of my favorite K-pop songs in the last few years. Wow. Okay, that's some high marks. That's some high marks. I'm glad it's high up on the tier list for you. And then, as I mentioned before, Callus is a big fan of the MV concept, and Gunky says, I agree. This is a great one. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, we got a couple more left. We've got the next one, which is, it looks like Electric Shock. And Biscuit says, I like this album too. Ooh, okay. I'll have to do my homework. I've got a ton of albums to get through for Kang Daniel, so excited to make my way through them all. So very nice. Well, we're gonna move on to the next release from him, which is Electric Shock. So check it out.
Electric shock, oh oh oh, straight to my heart, oh oh oh. 화들짝 놀라봐요. I gotta keep my hands up to the stars. 끌려져 한없이 모든 회로가 끊겨. 흘러드는 전율, 느껴지는 전율. I really gotta wait for it all. 눈을 맞댄 순간 튀는 spark of light. 흔들어 난 내 마음속 core. 잡힐 듯 말 듯 다시 멀어져가. But don't you try to take it too far. Just go with the flow. Step out of your zone. Electric shock, oh oh oh. Straight to my heart, oh oh oh. 화들짝 놀라봐요. I gotta keep my hands up to the stars. Keep my hands up to the stars. Turn me up, but everlasting. Light me up. 온몸에 도는 electric 처음 느낀 감정에 걸려버린 buffering. Gotta wait all for myself. 내 맘을 자극하는 energy. 번지는 기분이 so correct. Go seize it for yourself. Keep your hands up to the stars. Just go with the flow. Step out of your zone. Electric shock, oh oh oh. Straight to my heart, oh oh oh. 화들짝 놀라봐요. I gotta keep my hands up to the stars. Keep my hands up to the stars. 머릿속 고민은 way too loud. 볼륨은 줄이고 wait right now. Electric shock, oh oh oh. Straight to my heart, oh oh oh. Electric shock. Electric shock. Electric shock.
Those ad-libs in the back are wild.
Straight to my heart, oh oh oh.
Very cool. All right, this was Kang Daniel's Electric Shock. Very nice. I like this a lot. This was, first of all, the MV was so cool. I like how he not only plays himself but also plays like a PA on, you know, the set of a music video. I thought that was a cool touch, you know. So I like the kind of interplay of that, but the song itself was very interesting. I noticed something that doesn't happen often, but I've noticed a couple times in Kang Daniel's material is he loves to use either, and again, maybe it might be the producer that he's going with, but either himself and the producer or just himself they love to use like descending riffs, and especially like either pre-chorus or post-chorus, and I always find that very interesting. There was a couple of times where I was like, oh, they're definitely doing like a descending riff, and this song I feel like has it a little bit more in spades, which is not a bad thing. I like the melody choice of it. I think it kind of has a very like bombastic sort of feel, and I'd maybe attribute that to kind of the song being called an electric shock, because I know, like, again, with weather and stuff, like especially thunderstorms, you can have a little bit more of a bombastic sort of moment, with like big lightning strikes, or you know big moments in a storm. And I feel like that kind of, I don't know if it's a little tongue in cheek about like the song itself, but it does have some big moments, and like there's moments of reprieve, obviously. So I don't know if he's trying to kind of mock off, something would happen in a electrical storm, but it was really cool. I like that. I think the instrumentation of this song kind of is, I think it's simultaneously there, but also kind of takes a little bit of a backseat, which is good because like the vocal, I think a lot of the songs that I've noticed is like with Kang Daniel, there's kind of a like barometer of different things that he tried to incorporate in his music, which is like a good like choreography in this music. But I also feel like there's a lot of level of dynamics throughout his songs where like, the instrumental kind of speaks for the song, and then obviously kind of is reeled back a little bit in terms of the production sometimes as well. So I love seeing that tug and pull of the song is really fun. And then I think to me, what tied it all together was that final chorus. There's like it's a lot of good like long vocal notes that I was like, damn, he's really holding it for a long time. So insane breath control. Love seeing that as well. But yeah, overall, I thought this was another really, really solid song. I don't want to seem like I'm like, oh my God, Kang Daniel is the best thing since sliced bread. But I've generally enjoyed a lot of his discography that we've listened to tonight. So it's been a fun ride. So very nice, very nice. We're going to keep it moving. The next one we've got is Mess, and this looks to be a special video. So let's check it out. If I had to guess, it's maybe from the same album.
Lost inside your legs, can see the rest. Yeah. Echoes in my head, it makes me guess.
Ooh.
You're so always staring into my chest. Yeah. I try to run, but
Thank you, Kale.
I keep coming back to you. You twist my mind and act as so fine. I'm running blind, I lost my way out. I beg for answers, but you give me pain. In the silence, so love is your strain. I can't take it back, oh no. You keep breaking me down, and that lifts me up. You're so toxic, but I'm still holding.
Tu ne peux pas t'enfuir.
I'm living like I just don't care. I don't mind if it's unfair. Pretending that I got no fears, but I fear, 'cause I can't live without you. I'm living like I just don't care. If I don't have my break for real, I'm walking on the edge of nowhere. Who cares? Yeah, I'm living a life, I just can't take anymore. My thoughts keep screaming, just let it go. You lace me up so I can never run away. I'm caught in your maze every day. Like a curse or something, I try to break it clean, but you play it real smooth. You justify now I'm deceived. Maybe I believe that you could change. Now I realize that I'm just here for myself. Take it back, oh no. You keep breaking me down, and that lifts me up. You're so toxic, but I'm still holding.
Tu ne peux pas t'enfuir.
I'm living like I just don't care. I don't mind if it's unfair. Pretending that I got no fears, but I fear, 'cause I can't live without you. I'm living like I just don't care. If I don't have my break for real, I'm walking on the edge now.
Very nice. I genuinely thought there was gonna be more to the song. Very interesting. This was Kang Daniel's Mess. If you're hanging out, thanks for hanging. Um, First of all, kudos. This song is all in English, I believe. So he sounded great. His pronunciation was on point. So kudos again to King Daniel. This was very good shit. I definitely feel like this plays a little bit more into what I enjoy. This kind of, it almost gives like a slight emo vibe. Not entirely, obviously. I feel like it's like, I feel like it's K-pop tinged with a little bit of emo flavoring. Which, listen, as someone who comes from both backgrounds, I love that. But I loved a lot of like the minor tonalities of the song. I think very similarly to Paranoia, which also is another song I enjoyed in that sort of minor key. I feel like this just works out so well. Like he's got a very like smoothness to his voice, but I think that this song also is contrasted really well because there's like a little bit of vocal grit. As I mentioned before, I think he definitely incorporates it well in this song. It's not like he's straining or anything, but it's just got like this really cool kind of like coarseness to it that I really appreciate. I like the instrumentation of it. The bass seems like a very strong component of this song, and the bass line was really fun. The instrumentation is just kind of, again, very, very, very cool. And, you know, I like kind of that, like, again, that sort of minor emo undertone of the song. I will say this song feels short. I was just about to just let it go because I thought potentially there's going to be more to the song. But at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, roughly, that's a very short song. I kind of wish there was a bridge. I know I always gripe about short songs, excuse me. And I feel like this is one of those ones that I would throw in that boat certainly as well too, as being a short song, and I wish it was longer. So, yeah, I love this one. This one's definitely gonna be amongst the amongst the favorites tonight for sure. Kaylee says actually a single, but it's newer. Ooh, okay. And Kaylee says that's what is on Spotify too. Oh, that's killer. That hurts. That hurts. But very nice, very nice. All right, we have made it to the final one of the King Daniel deep dive here, along with Wannaone. Thank you for watching if you've been watching. But this one is called Episode, so let's check it out. Wow, this is new. This came out a month ago. Holy shit. My man just had lockpick tools in his bag.
If you want me, won't you tell me something? 알고 싶어 너의 마음을. Tell me something. Give me something like kissing again. 너라면 뭐든. Give me something 어렵진 않지. 내 맘속 깊은 곳에 metaphor 그 밖에 모든 episodes. Baby 너란 알다가도 모를 작품 같아. No matter how I see it, I keep finding a new drama. 빠지는 환상 비추고 싶어 나 위에 pink light 선을 넘어 닿고 싶어 손 받쳐 make me feel high 내가 맘에 들면 전부 가져도 좋아 대신 너를 좀 더 내게 보여줘 Tell me something Give me something Like kissing again 너라면 뭐든 Give me something 어렵진 않지 내 맘속 깊은 곳에 metaphor 그 밖에 모든 episodes Why don't you tell me something 애써 감춘 비밀 Whisper 맘속 깊이 숨긴 thrill Face that, baby just like that 이제는 talk and talk, baby just like that 한 번 더 knock, 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 baby just like that 넌 doubt, 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 baby just like that Tell me something, give me something like 이젠하게 말하면 뭐든 Give me something, 어려진 않지 내 맘속 깊은 곳을 metaphor 그 밖의 모든 episodes Face that, baby just like that 이제는 talk and talk, baby just like that 한 번 더 knock, 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 baby just like that 넌 doubt, 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 baby just like that Face that, baby just like that 이제는 talk and talk, baby just like that 한 번 더 knock, 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 baby just like that 넌 doubt, 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 baby just like that
All right, very cool. This was Kang Daniel's episode. If you're hanging out, thank you for enduring the deep dive. Appreciate you. This was fun. I feel like the instrumentation, and this is gonna be a very. I'm curious how I'm gonna navigate this one, but it gives me like elevator music, and I mean that in the nicest of ways. But like instrumentally wise, like that was my first thought was like, wow, I could hear this song in like a smooth jazz, like elevator style, like instrumentation, and that's not bad. I think he definitely made the concept, so like the concept of the song good. But just like my initial thought was like, this kind of gives me like some light, like something out here in an elevator, which is not bad. A lot of jazz I feel like is kind of attributed to it, but I thought this one was incredible. Really good hooks. I think like his vocals have gotten so much better. I feel like over time, like he's just kind of aged super well. I love his falsetto tone. I was hoping he was going to utilize it more at the start of this video, and I can confidently say he has done that, certainly. But this one just has such a good vibe to it. I love, like, again, the way that he kind of interweaves in the song. It just is really, really well put together. He had, again, some like bits of like, you know, falsetto tones. He's got like a good mid-range tone, which is great. And I think he added like little bits of rasp, but not as much. But just like the overall kind of vibe just switched, and I am excited to listen to this one more. I don't know if this is just like a single release or a part of a mini album, but I'll have to give this one a listen because definitely enjoyed like the concept. I think the musicality definitely fits in my lane of music. I've been really on the Billy kick recently, and I love their newest album, and I think that kind of plays into that jazz tonality, and I feel like this one is very similar as well. So yeah, I feel like he definitely does this sort of jazz tone super convincingly. So I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, overall this one, I would also put this amongst the favorites as well. I was really vibing out with this one a lot. So very nice. Kaylee made a comment about the lockpick thing, and they said you don't. LOL. I guess I don't. I should. I probably should now. You know, if I want to be on the same level as Kang Daniel. So, Kaylee says this one is a favorite of mine. Connie says this one is a vibe. Kaylee says gets stuck in your head, kind of a thing. And it is from his most recent album / EP. Very nice. Very nice. Cool shit. I'm feel like I'm caught up, obviously, and you know, excited to see what songs he's going to be performing, and you know, his discography. So very nice. Connie says, "Oh my god, it hit the 50K. Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. Awesome, let's go." So, in terms of Kang Daniel songs, I'm gonna put this in no particular order. There's 15 songs. So I feel like this is difficult. I'm gonna say two favorites are actually the two current videos that we just listened to, Mess and Episode. I'd probably put those in my favorites. I also really liked Paranoia. I'll put Waves up there. and I think I'll put 2U. I think those would be my favorites. I don't know if I really had. I think I'd also put SOS. SOS would be on there. I don't know why I didn't include that one on the list. And then I think honorable mention. Honorable mention's tough. I want to say. That's tough. That's really actually tough. I'm gonna say honorable mention Parade. I think that would be my honorable mention. So very nice, very nice. Let's see. Kogi says, "Woo, you're caught up now." Yeah, Connie could do a concert stream. That is correct. So those would be my favorite Kang Daniel songs. If there are B-sides you would like me to listen to, I know the last ZB1 dive we did last week, I had gone through and listened to some ZB1 albums, so I will probably go through and do the same with Kang Daniel. So if you'd like me to write down my commentary in Discord on those songs, let me know, and I will do my best. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I think Wannaone was incredible. I'll definitely have to go and listen to their music. Obviously, gone before there would glow up, in my opinion. And Kang Daniel, I think, is an incredible artist. I'm excited to get into more soloists from Wannaone. It just seems like they had a very strong talent pool. So excited to see what they're gonna be cooking up next. So yeah, thanks y'all for hanging out. Again, a massive shout outs to Kaylee for putting this together, and doing the deep dive and stuff. I appreciate y'all so much. It was really cool. And then as well as that, Wednesday we're continuing on with more Boys Planet groups. I don't know who we're doing, so Sarah, you're gonna have to enlighten us on who we're doing Wednesday, but very excited. Kaylee says, yeah, now the door is open to more because of it. That is true. That's true. I know we've been cooking. We've been cooking recently, so excited to get into more groups. Connie says, I want to request a concert, but I have so many options. LOL. I think it's better if you guys choose for me. I have CM Blue, EXO, or Shiny. Ooh, very nice, very nice. Everyone says thanks, and good night, and all that sort of stuff. So very cool. I'm sure we're gonna find them all out on Wednesday. So come join Wednesday if you want to see more Boys Planet groups. I know it's been it's been a long road, but I feel like we are almost at the finish line. So come join. Would love to see you. But thanks so much again. Shout outs to Kaylee. Thanks for vibing and giving me the Wannaone as well as Kang Daniel playlist. So very excited to see what's gonna happen next. Kogi says I would choose CN Blue. Fair enough. Yeah. And if you're new, come join Discord. That's the best way to catch up with what we're doing. So thanks, y'all. I'm gonna go to bed. We'll see y'all on the next stream on Wednesday. Come through. Peace, y'all.